progress in trade talks during Vance's visit to New Delhi. Both leaders aim to finalise a deal within the 90-day pause on steep US tariffs imposed by President Donald Trump. Vance, on a 4-day visit with his family, met Modi to discuss trade, energy, defence and strategic technology cooperation, while also addressing shared concerns over China. The visit comes amid an intensifying US-China trade war, with India navigating a careful diplomatic path. Both sides called for diplomacy in addressing global issues. India, facing potential tariffs on major exports, is pushing to finalise the deal by autumn. US officials cited a lack of trade reciprocity, while India is open to cutting tariffs on half of its US imports. With bilateral trade hitting $129 billion in 2024, India seeks a fair agreement with its largest trading partner. Vance and Prime Minister Modi unveiled the terms of reference for a US-India bilateral trade agreement, a significant step following their February 2025 discussions. This agreement aims to reduce trade barriers, including India's high tariffs and regulatory restrictions, which have led to a $45.7 billion US goods trade deficit with India in 2024. The US seeks increased market access and a fairer trade relationship, while India is open to further tariff reductions. This agreement is a key part of President Trump's America First trade policy, aiming at boosting US jobs, growth and long-term benefits for American workers and industries. Additionally, Vance was accompanied by his wife, Usha, and their children. Vance visited New Delhi's Ashkardam Temple before heading to Jaipur and the Taj Mahal. Modi later hosted the family for dinner at his residence. Well, joining us to discuss these developments is Professor Rohan Gunaratne, a Middle East affairs expert who is joining us from Singapore. Rohan, thank you ever so much for joining us. With these trade talks and other topics discussed, how significant is this meeting between Vance and also Prime Minister Narendra Modi, looking at global tensions amid ongoing trade tussles?
President Trump sent the right man to India to engage Modi, because Vance is very familiar with India because of his wife's heritage, and there was excellent chemistry, and I believe that the India partnership with the United States will grow from strength to strength. If there was no such dialogue, if there was no such discussion, then of course India would have broadened its strategic partnerships, including with Russia and with Iran. So what we are seeing is that because of this timely dialogue, there will be agreement and discussion on tariffs, US tariffs with regard to India, and that relationship will become a stronger relationship. Other than that, there was many other discussions on science and technology, on defense, on investment, and a broad range of domains. So I believe that this visit is timely, and this visit will pave the way for further strengthening US-India cooperation.
Yes, Professor Gunaratne. Also looking at some of the visuals we've seen of J.D. Vance, his wife Usha, and their children in India. What is the significance of this visit, given Usha Vance's heritage? Of course, she became the first Second Lady of American Asian descent, and she is here, of course, with her children on an extended visit.
The early 21st century, the Indians as a community has done brilliantly in the Western world. Today, many of them occupy key positions in the private sector as well as increasingly in government. And certainly the visit of the wife and the children cements that partnership between India and the United States. And I believe that it will also provide a lot of insight in the American people will understand India better, because as you know, less than 20% of the Americans have traveled outside the United States. So I think that this visit, especially with Vice President's family, will open the door for more tourism, more trade, more partnership, more trust between these two countries.
Yes, Professor Gunaratne, as well, of course, the global uncertainty. There are conflicts ongoing, humanitarian crises. How could the US and India potentially work together on the ongoing geopolitical instability?
The US and India are very strong countries, both these countries. Of course, America is 10 to 20 years ahead of India, but Indians can learn a lot from this partnership, and they can work together to mitigate conflicts. And also this friendship will pave the way for America to think more strategically of issues, global issues, because the ideology of India is dharmic, and the ideology of the Americans are Abrahamic. So I believe that the meeting of these two ideologies will make India and the United States both stronger nations.
Thank you very much, Professor Rohan Gunaratne, for joining us there and providing